Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering how do you make money writing a book. You have to be purposeful, but following the tips in this video can help you on your way. By the end of this video, you will learn how to set your book apart, how to leverage your content, and the importance of writing a book that stands the test of time. And stay tuned until the end of the video for a free opportunity I really think you could benefit from. Let's dive in. The best way, the most straightforward way to make money from writing a book isn't from book sales. It's not from the book itself. It's from the opportunities that can come from every book sold. I'm talking about connecting your book to high value, high leverage opportunities that you can sell. I'm talking about taking a reader and taking them on a journey. You're taking the reader from the book to want to take action, so you have to have a strong call to action in your book. Maybe that's to go to your website. Maybe that's to sign up for a course. Maybe that's for high value support services. Whatever the case may be, it's important to rethink book success because volume by itself isn't going to generate those opportunities. You could sell lots and lots of copies of a book and generate revenue from it, yes, but limited revenue. If you make $5 or $10 off of every book sold, you have to sell lots and lots of copies of the book in order to see lots of revenue from that. At the same time, if you have high value coaching services or something else that you charge $75,000, $100,000, $50,000 for, maybe you only need 2 or 3 clients to make that money. So it's exciting to be able to see opportunities, to think of the book as a door opener and not the end of the opportunity, but the beginning. It's the beginning of a journey that you're taking together. Another revenue opportunity is from leveraging the content of your book. Maybe you're writing articles, maybe you're publishing content around topics and getting paid to write them and using them to then build into the book. There could be opportunities to share these messages and to make money at the beginning of the process as you're writing. There's just so many different ways that you can go about chopping up content, maybe using blogs, maybe using articles. Maybe you can be a contributor to a website. Another obviously key driver is speeches. Lots of authors are public speakers, and both of those things go hand in hand. The message that you're sharing in your book is going to become a great opportunity for an audience. So whether it's chopping up content, whether it's articles, whether it's speeches, there's so many different chances to connect with an audience. And there's so many chances when you really unlock the power of your story to share it in a wider way, in a different way, in multiple ways. In order to unlock the power of your message, you need to make sure that your message stands apart, that it's different, that it's unique, that it's original. You don't want it to sound like every other book out there, because if it sounds like every other book out there, it's not going to stand apart. It's not going to drive reader interest. They're not going to say, oh my gosh, you need to read this. They're going to say, oh, this book reminds me of every other book that's ever been written. That's no fun. You don't want to write a book like everybody else. Be different. Bring out your uniqueness. Don't be afraid of it. Lean into it. A lot of times when I start talking to authors, they're risk averse. They're scared. They're worried. They're fearful. They don't think their message is special or unique or different. And it definitely can be. There's opportunity to make your message different, to make your message stand apart. You ultimately need to understand what stories and books have already been written to make sure that you're not repeating those things. But finding the uniqueness in your story that stands apart from other books. That's the way that your book is going to stand apart and be different and generate the kind of interest that's going to help you along your way. Otherwise, if you write a book like everybody else's, it's not going to have that impact. In order to take the reader from a reader to a client, you need a robust and refined lead funnel. I talk about funnels a lot. Funnels, funnels, funnels. At the same time, they're hugely important. What do you want the reader to do after they're done reading the book? What options do you want them to take? What steps do you want them to take? If they're not wowed by the book, if they're not interested in the book, if there's nothing there that's going to move them, they're not going to become a lead. They're not going to become anything. They're going to put the book down and walk away and continue on with their lives. So they need to be moved by something in the book. This book needs to move them in some way to take action. So that call to action forces them to act, they take action, and then you need to seal the deal. You need to carry this forward to something more. A lot of the books I work with don't involve any sales goals. People simply want to tell a story, and I love that. But then there's other authors I work with who do have sales goals. And I think it's great to lean into that, to understand that, and to really bring out the power of that funnel, because you want to get somebody excited from reading the book to take action, and then you need to convert. You need to be able to take this lead and turn them into a client. That's the main way of generating revenue for a book. But again, in order to get to that point, you need to write a book that resonates and that matters, that stands the test of time. You don't want a book that just captures a moment. You want a book that captures the reader's heart. You want a book that is going to resonate for years to come. You want a book that's going to matter. I think it's so powerful when I talk to my previous ghostwriting clients, and we wrote a book and published it 2 or 3 years ago, and they're still generating leads from that book. That this is a long-term sales asset for them, a marketing asset. It's an opportunity for them to start conversations with people, and they can hand a copy of the book to somebody, and that person ends up becoming a client and paying them tens of thousands of dollars. It's so awesome to see the words that I've helped somebody write help them to transform their life and their business and their career and take this new step. It's just such an awesome thing, and you can do that too if you take those steps, if you create a robust funnel, if you understand opportunities for revenue, and you think beyond book sales, because book sales are not going to drive this, they're not going to transform your life by themselves, but there's so many opportunities that can come from a book, and positioning yourself in the right place to turn readers into leads, into customers, is a huge opportunity. If you want to learn more about how do you make money writing a book, head to my website, goodghostwriter.com. You can click the link below. There you can schedule a one-on-one strategy call with me. I'd love to talk to you and learn more about your project, learn more about the challenges you're facing, your revenue goals, and point you in the right direction. Because I know how challenging this can be, but if you stick with it, there can be so many opportunities on the other side. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.